In a song released while Celeste was only 11 years old, David said, "Save your tears, 7 years. 7 years later, Celeste would have turned 18.
Oh, hell no. David is facing the death penalty.
The criminal story of David is one that has dominated mainstream headlines for almost a year now. It was almost impossible to not at least hear a little about what had happened. Starting out as a horrifying mystery when police found the dismembered body of Celeste Hernandez, and quickly becoming a disturbing case study into the depths of human depravity. As more information about the alleged perpetrator, David, came to light.
But can you even say he's like depraved though? Like he said depravity, right? But like, bro, look at him. I ain't even trying to glaze no child diddler and nothing like that, but he don't look bad. Life and depraved mean morally corrupt, wicked, or perverted. Oh, I thought he was deprived. I thought they were saying like he's deprived, you know what I'm saying? So it forced him to go of kids.
Even if you don't know any details about this case, you have probably heard this general information through cultural osmosis.
Yeah.
Many don't know how crazy this story has gotten as it's developed these past months. So today, we're going to be covering the full timeline of the David files, starting from the night of the murder and ending it with what we know in the present day. Quick disclaimer, this is one of the most disturbing topics I've ever discussed, and today we're looking at David files. On the evening of September 8th, 2025, David was in the middle of performing for a packed crowd while at the exact same time, police officers in Los Angeles were being called to investigate a foul smell coming from an abandoned Tesla Model X that had been sitting in the heat for days. The vehicle had already been towed
but I got a question. Like, do y'all think he wanted to be caught? I know it may seem like a crazy question, but like, bro, the more I hear about this case, I'm like, damn, bro, some of this crap is like easily avoidable, bro. No, dumbass. Yo, if he didn't, it's not even, you can't even call me a dumbass for asking that question though. Cause look, if he didn't want to be caught, there's so many different things he could have done. You know how close California/LA is to the desert? Yo, I'm not trying to drop a tutorial on how to or a little girl or anything like that, but if he wanted to, the body wouldn't have even been found, because the body being found is one of the reasons he was cooked, right? We can all agree on that. My nigga, he left the body sitting in front of his crib for like months, bro, like literally months.
Impound yard after neighbors complained about it being left outside for an unusually long period of time.
I'm Hungarian, that's what I don't know. What's incinerate? It means like when they like are about to burn your car up.
And by the time
officers there? No, he didn't.
Finally searched it, the smell had become impossible to ignore. When they opened the front trunk, they found plastic bags. The body had decomposed so severely that identification was difficult at first, but investigators were eventually able to determine that the victim was a teenage girl. She stood around 5'2" and weighed only 71 pounds. Considering
71 pounds? Humans can weigh 71 pounds? God damn!
How little remained and the state the body was found in, the condition shocked even experienced investigators. Before long, police identified the remains as belonging to Celeste
You said, brother, obviously humans can weigh 71 pounds, but I'm just saying that's crazy.
Hernandez, a girl who had been missing for roughly 17 months. Then came the detail that changed the entire case from a disturbing homicide into one of the most infamous internet crime stories in recent memory. The Tesla belonged to indie artist David. At a first glance, David seemed like the last person anyone would associate with a crime this horrific. He had no criminal history, came from a financially stable family, and built his reputation online as a quiet former Fortnite player who turned into a bedroom pop artist almost overnight. And here's the detail that really sticks with people. The day Celeste's body was found, David was on stage. While police in LA were pulling bags out of the trunk of his Tesla, he was at a venue in Minneapolis headlining a packed show on the Withered tour.
Okay, I don't want to give up no false information, but was it the day after the body was discovered he started performing and throwing out little boo-boos? Like, that's why I thought he was innocent, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He was acting a little bit too nonchalant for me, bro. A little bit way too nonchalant, gang. Same? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, damn, my boo-boos? Like, I understand you might not have nothing to do with the body that was just found in your car, but like, bro, you're not even gonna take it a little bit serious? Like, he is wild. Wait, didn't Charlie Kirk die this day? September 10th? Maybe that's why I got it, bro.
He wasn't some nervous wreck up there. By every account, he was having the time of his life, hyping up the crowd, even tossing Labubu dolls out into the audience, telling them not to fight over it, and that it wasn't the last thing he was going to throw out. He didn't mention a word of it. He went on and performed again the very next night. From the outside looking in, it looked like business as usual for a rising pop star. Nobody in that crowd had any idea what had been found just 2,000 miles away. But within hours of the discovery, people began digging through years of his music, deleted social media posts, Discord messages, archived live streams, interviews, and music videos. As more information surfaced, a horrifying narrative started forming. It began to look less like David had randomly become connected to a murder investigation, and more like he had spent years openly foreshadowing exactly what he was eventually accused of doing. While Celeste's body was sitting in the trunk of that Tesla, David wasn't hiding. He was on stage. He was in the middle of his first big headline run with the Withered World Tour, named after his debut album, a record he'd described as a goodbye letter to himself. And the staging of that tour is something people really only went back and studied after the fact. Fans walking into the venue were greeted by a coffin. There was a funeral wreath, white roses lining the stage, a portrait of David wrapped up in gauze representing a tormented alter ego he called Itami, and a guest book where the crowd was invited to write letters to the dead. At the time,
see what I'm saying? Like, y'all were trying to call me a dumbass for saying he maybe wanted to be caught. Like, I know he didn't actually want to be caught, but like, bro, the fact that he was leaving around so many clues, so many different Easter eggs, like he's the Riddler, like, bro, you can't tell me this doesn't seem like he, at least at the very least, didn't want it to be known, right? He can't hold the guilt. Yeah, something like that, bro.
To the dead. At the time, fans read it as a moody, on-brand horror aesthetic. After September, a lot of people couldn't unsee what it actually looked like. And for a while, officially, nothing happened to him. Police hadn't named a suspect, no charges had been filed, and David was technically still a free man with a career. But the walls started closing in fast. Within days of Celeste being identified, Crocs and Hollister pulled him from a campaign he had been the face of just days earlier. Then, from a campaign he had been the face of just days earlier. Then, the shows began disappearing. First Seattle, then San Francisco and LA, then the entire European leg. Every date from Norway to Poland was wiped out.
Wait, David had motion like this? He was going on international tours?
And replaced with a note blaming unforeseen circumstances.
Bro, am I wild? I did not know he was this big, bro. Like, I don't want to say he was, I don't want to say I thought he was like a scrub or something, but like, I mean, I guess that do make sense though. Even after he got caught, bro, this still got 17 million, almost 18 million monthly listeners, bro. So maybe before he had like 30 million. That's crazy.
His label suspended promotion of
Did they get that money back? Of course.
The album, unforeseen circumstances. His label suspended promotion of the album, scrapped the deluxe release, and pulled the tour merch.
Your Ghostlight kid. Oh God.
And pulled the tour merch. And
like, look at that, bro. It's just so sus.
Everyone sub to me too. He already reached his goal. Eyes emoji. Eyes emoji.
Alright, bro.
For long, he'd been quietly dropped altogether. The album rollout, the funeral tour, all of it just stopped. And David himself went almost completely silent and dropped off the grid. To understand how the situation escalated.
Yo, he was mad. Yo, bro, he was mad silent before he got arrested, dog. I'm surprised he didn't drop an album or something like that.
Into murder, investigators and internet sleuths started tracing the timeline all the way back to 2021.
Damn, it goes back that far?
In December 2021, he released one of his first songs online. And
hey, brother, if you tell me that this song is about Celeste in 2021, yo, I'm gonna know something, bro. I'm gonna know something about him, his manager, his producers, his friends. I'm gonna know something about everything about him. But this song right here is about her? Hell no.
Even from the very beginning, the themes in his music were unusually dark and strangely specific. His lyrics revolved around obsession, abandonment, jealousy, emotional dependency, and violence towards romantic partners. The speaker in these songs constantly feared being left behind and reacted to rejection with rage. At first, nobody cared, because dark emotional lyrics are common in alternative music.
I'm about to say, bro, like Juice WRLD, X, like, bro, nothing was wrong. Well, I don't know about X, but like for the most part, none that was really wrong with the people in the emo scene, bro. That's just like some common emo crap.
Music, especially among artists influenced by internet rap and emo scenes. But after Celeste's body was found, people started revisiting these songs with entirely different eyes. Lyrics that once sounded edgy suddenly sounded disturbingly literal. One song included the line, "I think we both know who dies here." Another repeatedly referenced keeping someone from them leaving. Others mentioned killing slowly, dying together, and becoming violent over betrayal. Then, there was one specific lyric that stood out above almost anything else. In a song released while Celeste was only 11 years old, David said, "Save your tears 7 years." 7 years later, Celeste would have turned 18.
Oh, hell no.
Investigators would
11? 11? Bro, the shit wasn't even old enough to have Discord. What are we talking about, bro? What? They met in January 2022, so that song was about her? Yo, brother, what are we talking about? No. Deadass, where are the parents? Like, I don't want to get into victim blaming because, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's David's entire fault, but at the same time, though, like, brother.
Later alleged that David first met Celeste in early 2022 through Fortnite and Discord, when she—
Dude, Fortnite? Yo, this is some bad PR. Because, dude, David literally has a song with Fortnite, bro. It's his last song released, bro. Dude, oh, hell no. This can make the Fortnite anthem, by the way. The anthem for Fortnite, by the way. Oh, hell no.
He was still a child, and he was already close
you said
to
play it. Are you crazy?
adulthood. According to court records, detectives
No, he released something on Apple, bro. He's hacked.
a child, and he was already close to adulthood. According to court records, detectives ultimately concluded the two first connected in January of 2022. Around the same time, Celeste's Discord account was reportedly created, which would have made her around 11 years old. As David's music career slowly gained traction online, his relationship with Celeste allegedly became deeper and more controlling behind the scenes.
Open with it
Former
too,
friends
brother.
and Discord users later described how David surrounded himself with extremely young fans and frequently interacted with underage girls in private servers.
Yeah, there's no way Celeste was his only victim, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's just no way.
Multiple people who knew him during this period claimed his behavior towards minors was not exactly a secret. One former Fortnite teammate later said everyone in their gaming group knew about Celeste, and that David would casually joke about it whenever people brought her up.
But bro, why is no one bringing this up to the internet is what I want to know, bro. Like, you got to investigate everybody that was in that friend group. Because I know for a fact, David wasn't breaking y'all off no bread so y'all can stay quiet. Y'all can say he was. You know how many people you got to pay for every one of them to stay quiet?
Biggest turning point in his career came with the release of Romantic Homicide, the song that launched him from being a niche internet artist into mainstream success. The music video showed David standing blindfolded among candles near what appeared to be a dead girl, while imagery throughout the video
and tell us what I'm saying, bro. That was a method I seen on TikTok where you would just like extort PDF files for money, and as soon as they send you the money, you just expose them, bro.
Being hidden away inside luggage. The video was uploaded on September 7th.
Like
Celeste's birthday. At the time, fans viewed all of this as stylized horror aesthetics, but in retrospect, it became one of the most heavily scrutinized parts of the entire case. People started noticing how often David's songs referenced killing women he loved, preserving relationships through death, and becoming enraged
I can't blame the fans for this, bro, because this is just an aesthetic. I agree.
To leave him.
How you supposed to know the person that's trying to do this aesthetic is gonna be a weirdo actually living it out, bro?
David became more successful. He also became more reckless. By 2023, he was openly bringing Celeste into live streams and online content. In some streams, she could be seen in the background while fans asked who she was. Whenever viewers pressed him too hard, David either deflected or became aggressive. At one point, after a live stream involving jokes about age and
like, brother, on Twitch though? Wait, y'all see this? The fuck? David Epstein flight list. Hey, bro, he knew. Hey, brother, he knew.
Controversy, David panicked and repeatedly demanded moderators.
She don't look a day over 18. How didn't they realize? Well, this time I can low-key, no, I can't even give them. I don't know. Because this time she's covering most of her face with those big-ass, comically sized glasses, and then she has the hoodie on. If you were to show her without the glasses, no hoodie, and just look straight into the camera, you can obviously tell she's not 18. David ass probably told her to put all that on so he could hide it.
Being jokes about age and
best case scenario, I'm still thinking she looks on. Oh, obvious. Oh, 100%.
David panicked and repeatedly demanded moderators to delete everything immediately, yelling that all VODs needed to disappear.
Where's your media
I personally don't.
Yo, I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
What? Bro. No, nobody. I mean, obviously the chat is clipped. Like, obviously we can see the goddamn clip. It was clipped. But like, you're telling me nobody in the chat thought this was a little bit weird? How did the hell did that even come up on stream?
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Delete everything. Everything goes.
Meanwhile, outside David's online communities, Celeste's family was desperately trying to find her. In February 2024, relatives began posting missing person alerts online stating that 13-year-old Celeste had disappeared from Lake Elsinore, California. Her aunt and mother
I
both
seen
posted
that. Didn't they give her
publicly
like an abortion? I don't know how the hell that works in California. Can you really just get an abortion like no questions asked? Like you walk in there and walk out with no baby? Even it don't matter your age? I mean, I guess that makes sense, but like, bro, duh. Even if you're 13 though, bro, I feel like at a certain point, questions gotta be asked, bro. Questions gotta be asked. Maybe like once you get to 16, which is still a little bit odd, like maybe no questions, but like, bro, no questions dead weird. You gotta tell somebody. That's what I'm saying, bro.
her.
Unless someone on David's team went with her, bro.
Police later discovered that one of the last people Celeste contacted before vanishing was David. When investigators reached out to him, he answered the phone and claimed he barely knew her, insisting he had only met her once and did not realize she was underage. That explanation immediately started falling apart. According to court documents, David also showed police a yearbook picture of Celeste during the interaction, something prosecutors
bro, that literally contradicts exactly what he just said. Why would you have a yearbook picture?
Later argued directly contradicted his claims about not knowing her age.
What?
Detectives reportedly visited his home for a welfare check, but were unable to gather enough evidence at the time to arrest him or remove Celeste from the situation. Only days later, Celeste returned home, but prosecutors now allege David continued almost immediately afterward. Court filings later claimed that after her parents confiscated her phone, David drove to Lake Elsinore and paid another middle school student around $1,000 to secretly provide Celeste with a replacement phone so they could continue communicating. And just
bro, that had to be like beyond an open secret at that point, bro. Because I know when I was in middle school, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. You're telling me a celebrity just paid me $1,000, a celebrity with like 30 million monthly listeners paid me $1,000 to hand another middle schooler a phone? The entire school would have known. In a week, the entire Cali area would have known, bro. His ass would have been gone if it was me, bro.
Despite all of this, David's career was exploding at the exact same time. Speaking of legal, by 2025, he had become a global artist with collaborations tied to Fortnite, mainstream television placements, and appearances with some of the largest streamers on the internet. Songs were appearing in major shows, and huge creators were collaborating with him. To most fans, he still looked like a shy, awkward musician who wrote emotional love songs. But beneath the surface, prosecutors say the relationship with Celeste was becoming increasingly volatile and dangerous. Court filings reportedly describe escalating arguments involving jealousy, infidelity, and Celeste becoming increasingly unhappy with the relationship. In one text message cited by prosecutors, Celeste allegedly told David, "All we do is have and hang out. Man, I want more than that for myself."
God damn. Is it crazy to say she was mature for her age?
Investigators
not gonna dive more into that.
Interpreted the message as evidence that she had begun resisting the fantasy and control. Prosecutors claimed David had spent years constructing around her.
What are you talking about? All right, yeah, I'm not even gonna.
The prosecution argues that tensions escalated.
Out of context, that does sound crazy. Okay, matter of fact, let me go ahead and just explain what I mean. What she said is, all we do is just crack and just hang out, man. I want more than that for myself. So when I say she's a little bit mature for her age, I'm trying to say that a lot of women, even women that are decades older than her, will literally allow themselves to just be used by a man over and over again when all they know the man wants is sex, bro. Facts. So she's mature for her age in the sense that she can see that far ahead, bro.
Man,
but what I'm saying is making sense though, bro.
Especially dangerous moment for David, because his debut album and major endorsement opportunities were about to launch, meaning public exposure of an illegal relationship with a minor could potentially destroy
your
both his
kid?
career and financial future
guess.
overnight. Prosecutors later cited this as evidence of financial motive connected to the murder charge. According to the timeline laid out by investigators, David allegedly sent an Uber to pick up Celeste from her family home on April 23, 2025. Records reportedly show she arrived at his residence around 10:10 p.m. Roughly 20 minutes later, David began sending text messages asking where she was, despite prosecutors alleging she had already arrived. Authorities believe those messages were staged in advance to create
he trying to pull out some light Yagami, bro. He trying to pull out some light Yagami methods. Are we serious?
a false narrative suggesting asking where she was. Roughly 20 records reportedly show she arrived at his residence. Text messages asking where she was were staged in advance to create a false narrative suggesting Celeste never actually reached the property. From there, investigators claim David stabbed Celeste multiple times, including wounds to the chest and abdomen that later caused fatal blood loss. Authorities further allege that after committing the crime, David drove to Santa Barbara to dispose of evidence before purchasing supplies used to dismember the body. Those purchases included chainsaws, a shovel, heavy-duty bags, a body bag, and a blue inflatable pool, supposedly intended to contain blood, while dismemberment occurred inside his garage.
So he did all of this himself, though, bro? That's kind of strange.
Prosecutors argue that the very method David allegedly used to avoid leaving evidence instead created enormous amounts of forensic evidence. According to investigators, using chainsaws caused blood and biological material to spread widely throughout the garage, while also shredding the inflatable pool itself. Small blue plastic fragments consistent with the destroyed pool were reportedly later recovered alongside Celeste's remains. Even worse for the defense, authorities allegedly discovered the damaged pool still sitting at the property months later when police searched the residence after the body.
Like, y'all see what I'm saying? It's like he was just... he was sloppy, very sloppy. I'm not gonna say he wanted to be caught, but like, bro,
was found. The sheer carelessness investigators described throughout the entire alleged cleanup has led many observers to speculate about David's mental state during the crime and aftermath. Prosecutors claim he never properly disposed of the remains, never thoroughly cleaned the garage, never removed crucial forensic evidence, and continued driving the Tesla while the body remained stored inside the vehicle's front trunk.
See what I'm saying?
Alongside air fresheners meant to mask the decomposition odors. He eventually abandoned the vehicle entirely rather than destroying it. Even more bizarrely, court filings reportedly state that David retained possession of numerous incriminating digital files. Investigators allegedly recovered explicit images and videos involving Celeste from iCloud storage and other devices, including content prosecutors claim depicts sexual activity when she was only 30 years old. Authorities reportedly seized approximately 40 terabytes of data connected to the investigation. Whether all of that material exclusively involved Celeste or included other victims has not yet been fully clarified publicly.
It's 100% got to include other victims, bro.
The findings only intensified the public horror.
I think they mean like 40 terabytes. No way he has 40 terabytes of you know what, bro. Cheese pizza. There's not a single chance. I think they mean like his entire like iCloud, bro. I don't even have 40 terabytes of anything.
Surrounding the case, medical examiners reportedly concluded that Celeste died from stab wounds causing catastrophic.
He had to have done it alone. He bought 5 things and he did such sloppy jobs. Okay, that makes sense, but I think the more than likely scenario is that he did do it alone. But I'm just saying, it's kind of odd.
Blood loss.
Very odd that no one noticed anything.
Her remains showed evidence of dismemberment.
40 terabytes of anything is crazy, bro. I think my entire Google Photos only is like maybe 200 gigabytes. Yeah, it's like 163 gigabytes, bro. How in the world could you possibly get to 40 terabytes? No. Bro, read everyone but me. What did you say? I heard Celeste had David tattooed on her finger and David kept that finger. I heard he disposed that finger, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a single shot he kept it. Pause the stream. I gotta go pee.
and 2 fingers were missing entirely, her left ring finger and her pinky. Internet users quickly linked that detail to a tattoo bearing David's name on her ring finger, leading prosecutors to suggest he intentionally removed identifying features connected to himself. She also had a matching tattoo on her right index finger saying "shh" that matches with the one David has. Toxicology results added another layer of disturbing speculation. While many substances tested negative, preliminary screens reportedly turned presumptive positives for MDMA, methamphetamine, and benzodiazepines. Experts cautioned that decomposition can complicate toxicology interpretation significantly, especially because post-mortem fermentation can naturally produce ethanol inside the body. Still, some observers speculated that Celeste may have been drugged before the attack, though no definitive public conclusion has yet confirmed that theory. As prosecutors continued building their case, investigators also began examining the role of people surrounding David. Private investigators publicly suggested he believed someone may have assisted with—
Bro, what? What? What did I just read, bro? I think because this crap is so weird, when they find sources, they download the entire site. Kind of like Pokemon scrapers, but for cheese pizza. Like, what? Bro, what?
moving or dismembering.
Why didn't you help me beat my bad, gang? I'll hold it for you next time.
The body, arguing that it would have been extremely difficult for one person to handle alone. He also alleged that some individuals close to David may have received money in exchange for silence or cooperation, though those claims remain unproven publicly at this stage. Meanwhile, additional scrutiny fell on David's management team and professional associates after reports emerged that warnings about his relationship with Celeste had allegedly been sent directly to—
Okay, this is in 2024. There's been talk that the artist David possibly has had something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivers. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are worried. Bro, why would you email this to his management team of all people? These people only give a damn about making money. I keep trying to tell people, yo, these suits, doesn't matter who they are soulless individuals. If you really wanted something done, honestly, I would have been spamming this under every single Fearbuck post, under every single Scuba Ryan post, under every single Twitter post. Make this bitch go viral. But that's just me. That's just me. But emailing it to his management team, I think like that's got to be like bottom 3 things you could have done. Bottom 3. Calling the cops is like right alongside there though, because cops are kind of useless.
People working around him. According to private investigators, an email warning management that David might be connected to a missing 13-year-old was forwarded internally, rather than immediately reported to law enforcement. Although simply receiving an email does not prove criminal knowledge, critics argue it demonstrates how many opportunities existed.
Do you think they didn't call the cops? I'm saying no, they probably did call the cops. That's why I said it's bottom 3 things they could have done, bro. Like, the cops in cases like this, they don't really do anything, bro. Most of the people that what's that fat black guy name? Most of the people that Gideon catches, they literally walk out scot-free because the cops can't do shit, bro. They can't do nothing.
For someone to knowledge, critics argue it demonstrates how many opportunities existed for someone to intervene before the situation escalated into murder. There is one last strange footnote to all of this. After the raid, David broke his lease and cleared out of that Hollywood Hills home, the same house where prosecutors say Celeste spent time before she died, and where investigators searched the garage. Crews were photographed hauling everything out, and then, earlier this year, right around the time he was finally arrested, the house quietly went back up for rent. A fully furnished Hollywood Hills home with a private pool around 4,000 square feet.
Dude, that's like 24,000 of them. God damn, bro. God damn. Bro, the motion is just,
listed at just under $24,000 a month, and marketed as a luxury escape. Whoever signs that lease next probably has no idea what's alleged to have happened in that garage. Ultimately, this case with David seems pretty cut and dry when all the details are laid out. David had exhibited psychopathic tendencies and a fascination with gore even at a young age, and clearly had issues for his entire life. He somehow got away with allegedly all while
Nasty as
being at
arm-
the height of
Alright,
his
bro, I
fame.
guess.
It almost seems that when he allegedly murdered Celeste, he wanted to be caught,
Dude,
as Tony
you toss 10,000 to any woman in the world, I promise you they're going to be going, bro. Like at 99.999% of women, bro, they will literally pop it wide open, bro.
Soprano
Wide
calls
open.
it, he got cowboyitis.
Why don't
People
you
do that shit,
shave?
they want to get caught.
Oh, I want to get caught.
Yeah, you want to get caught. I seen it before. That's fucking cowboyitis.
Or wanting to be seen as tough, or however you want to say it, by other
Who
people.
wants
He
to-
seemingly
like,
left
what?
clues like the Riddler throughout his music
include your
videos.
mom?
And the fact he
Chill.
barely even disposed of the evidence that he
Fucking
allegedly left
weirdo.
behind is proof that not only was he insane, but he was stupid too. David has officially been charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances, including lying in wait, murder committed for financial gain, and murder of a witness to an investigation. He was also charged with lewd sex acts with a person under 4 years old and the mutilation of a human body. Since being charged, he has pleaded not guilty and is being represented by a Hollywood legal powerhouse, Blair Burke, the same attorney that Harvey Weinstein hired back in 2017.
Dude, didn't wait, he cooked? Wait, 23 years? Well, I mean, 23 years for R-wording and graping like 30 women, low-key is crazy.
The case isn't over yet, but if I were a betting man, I would guess
Hell,
that he
Donnie.
will most likely be spending the rest of his life in jail. He might even be facing the death penalty, although that is a slim chance. At the end of the day, even if prosecutors took a slightly long time to gather all the evidence, it was for a good reason, and they made as airtight of a case as possible to try and
Yeah, brother. All right, anyways, all right, the video's over. If you are watching this on YouTube and you want to come through the streams, make sure to come through. Twitch.tv/DonnieRedPeace. I love you. Bye.